Number 1. The Ugly Ghost. I was young, 5 to 7, somewhere in there. I was sleeping in between my parents for whatever reason. I woke up. I remember the clock reading around 4 a.m. There was something standing by the window, looking out into the front yard. It looked like a man in a brown wool robe, around 6'4" or so. I started to stir and sat up in bed, and the thing turned and looked at me. Dear God, that face. Extremely pale white skin, lots of really pronounced wrinkles, and the face drooped like it was melting down into a really pointy chin, almost similar to a scream mask, but with all of the features of a living being. Its mouth was hanging open, and its eyes were wide, almost like it was worried or frightened. It kept its gaze on me while it moved away from the window, in front of the bed, and out the open bedroom door. The second it exited the room, the lights turned on their own, and both of my parents jumped up on either side of me, breathing heavily, like they'd both just woken up from a nightmare. To be clear, I was fully able to move during this. I don't think it was sleep paralysis, but I'm not sure what it could have been other than some kind of demon or a really ugly ghost. I've never seen it since, but I can still picture it, clear as day. Number 2. The Castle. So a friend of my family is very wealthy and has a big house that we all affectionately call the Castle. Now, it's no mansion, but from my low state of living, it seemed like it. Somewhere between 6 to 8 rooms, a pool, 2 living rooms, a giant basement filled with a flat screen and pool tables and all that. My friend and I would always crash in the basement when we stayed over. Now, it was close to Halloween time, so we just finished watching a scary movie and were called upstairs for dinner. I just finished taking a particularly nasty dump, so I closed the bathroom door and ate like usual. When we came back down to the basement, the bathroom door was open. Because it was so close to Halloween, we all got spooked and ran upstairs telling my mum. We closed the door and it's open. So spooky, I know. But her response was, "Oh, that's just Beacom," and told us his story. Beacom is the house owner's brother's imaginary friend from when they were kids. They made sure to emphasise that it was friendly, but whenever something moves, or doors open or close, they just blame Beacom and laugh it off. So my friend and I went back downstairs, terrified, and for the rest of the night we kept watch on the doors to see if anything was different. But sure enough, if ever we both left the basement, when we came back down, one of the 3 downstairs doors was opened. We got into the habit of closing them all. My mum tried to scare us once with a wolf mask, which was more funny than anything. But anyway, as we were going to sleep, there are 2 half windows. I say half because they are small and lead outside. Well, we are underground, if that makes sense. And 2 couches. I lay on one, and my friend lays on the other. And from the way we were laying, we could each see one of the windows. And on my window is a white face. It's very dark and hard to see, but it looks like 3 black holes on a white field that might just happen to make a face. But when I get up to look closer, it moves away, almost like it's more of a reflection of light than anything else. I deliberately didn't tell my friend about it because we'd had enough fear for one day. So 2 years or so later, we are all talking about the scariest things that had ever happened to us. And of course, Beacon gets brought up into that situation. I'm listening to my friend tell the story, and he ends with, "Yeah, that night scared the shit out of me. I never told you this, but when we were sleeping, I saw a super creepy white face looking at me through the window. But we could only see different windows. I lost my shit and was never more creeped out. It's been some time since we've been to the castle, but that story will always spook me." Number 3. How was your day? Till this day, I don't know if there were a series of dreams or if it was a reality. But when I was around 6 or 7, my family and I lived in a 2-storey house with all the bedrooms upstairs. My mum would always send me to our room to collect nappies. My brother had just been born. And of course, my parents' room was at the very end of the hallway. I remember I had this distinct feeling that I could never recall. I just knew it when I felt it. The feeling was a warning sign that it was coming. Don't ask what it was, because I had no clue. When it was coming, I would get comfortable, lie on a bed or sit down, and close my eyes. I had to close my eyes though. Under no circumstances were they to be open. I felt like I was forbidden to look at it. It was like a set of rules that I had to follow, or else something would happen. I was too scared to question it. It would slowly come in. The feeling would grow as it got closer, and it would come from the hallway through the door. I felt like it was floating because I could never hear footsteps. It would literally just talk to me. That's it. The subject would range from small talk to something extremely creepy, my mother's death. It would usually ask me questions like, "How was your day?" But I would never answer because, again, I was scared to death. At this point, I would wait and listen until I couldn't feel its presence anymore. Only then would it be safe to open my eyes and move. It was weird because I seemed to forget the experience until the next one. After it left, I would continue on with what I was doing like nothing had happened. The only time I'd actually acknowledge it was when the feeling would wash over me, and then I'd realise that I was all alone. I really don't remember much. That one experience always stood out though. everything would kind of blur together. Pretty much all my memories from then are like that. I only remember my thoughts and feelings at the time. I don't even know. Number 4. Afraid of the dark. I was about 7 and my brother was 13 and we still shared a room. I was always afraid of the dark when I was a kid. Periodically, I would wake up in the night and call for Mum to come and turn on the hall light to be used as a night light, much to the enjoyment of my brother. One night in the middle of winter, I woke up and right before I called out for Mum, I noticed there was a man on the deck that was on the other side of the wall from our bedroom. I froze. I was totally freaked and tried to scream, but I could only make this high-pitched squeaking sound. The only thing I could do was cry. After what seemed like hours, my dad heard me and came in to see what was wrong. The man was gone, of course, when I told him, and my dad blew it off as a nightmare until my brother, from under his covers, said that he saw it too. With that, my dad went outside with the shotgun. There were footprints in the snow outside our window and the window of my parents' bedroom. That one took a while to recover from.